So the problem with like making this after being gone for so long is there's kind of like an overwhelming pressure to reorient you to like what this channel is about. And to be honest, I never knew. I I I know when I first started this, I was trying to find like a niche and trying to like I want to be a YouTuber. I don't want to be a YouTuber. But what I do want is to give myself a creative outlet because my depression is freaking bad right now. And I am in this place in my life where I have made a lot of changes and I've gone on like this big, huge healing growth journey, whatever. And like it's been really cool. But I've also realized I am just I'm sorry, not actively, I'm just passively consuming things. I'm watching media or listening to music or like listening to an audiobook even though I haven't lately. And that is, let's get one thing clear, right? Listening to an audiobook stimulates the exact same parts of your brain as reading a physical book or an ebook. So it is the exact same thing, but it is more of a passive act. It's a passive form of consumption versus the active form of consumption of reading would be to read, right? So anyway, I never really had like an idea of what I wanted for this channel, and I still don't. I think what I want is just maybe to have a place where if I wanted to talk about something, I can do so. I feel like I am trying to be more authentically me in those air quotes in my little healing journey moment. And I think that I really like to talk and I like to share my thoughts and see what's up. So, what am I going to do on here? I think for the most part, I'm just going to talk and maybe have a static background, maybe mess around with that old VR model that I have, the really janky one. So, what is this going to be? Probably a whole lot of nothing. How often will I upload? Again, I may never upload again after this, or maybe I find it's helpful for me. Who knows? I have no expectations. I have no delusions about this becoming like a career or something like I don't want that I don't have that as like a goal. I just want to be happy and to do things and to not let my depressive episodes dictate how I engage in things that I enjoy. I used to really enjoy making videos back in the day, back in the early tech days, right? In high school, I had a little video camera and I would hang out with my friends. We would do like videos and like there was Windows Movie Maker and you could edit the clips together and make a little like bestie summer and just like I had a lot of fun doing that type of stuff. I don't do that anymore. It's not necessarily that I don't, hang out with friends or record stuff. It's not that, I don't have a desire or the creative juices for that. It's just I don't have any motivation. And I feel like I don't have anything to say. When I sat down to record this, I had no idea what I was going to talk about. This is the seventh, eighth, or ninth time I've pressed record and stop, delete, record, stop, delete, record, stop, delete, right? Because I don't know what I want to say and I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to try something because trying something is better than not doing anything. If you don't do anything, then you're just doing nothing. You're just existing. And I'm just existing right now. And I know that that's not what I want out of my life. I didn't go through all of this growth and this journey and blah, 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 just to sit here and exist, go to work, make dinner, watch a TV episode and go to bed and do it all the next day. That's not what I want. And I know that that is what the capitalist machine wants, right? That's what they want from their working class. And so fuck that. It's an act of rebellion to create art. It's an act of rebellion to not focus on strictly hustling the most you can. It's an act of rebellion to X, Y, and Z, right? Or however you want to phrase it. But that's the phrase for me that really like helps me to keep going and to, say yes to hanging out with friends, or say yes to joining that in-person D&D campaign, even though you've never done it before. But oh my God, look at how much fun you're having. You're on your third one now. I want to just talk. And even if I'm just rambling for 10 minutes and, the video is just some weird shit that I put up. By the way, it'll never be AI. Fuck AI. Obviously, not all AI, because AI has been around since the internet has been around, but I do mean generative AI and that slop. It is stealing from artists. It is stealing from individual voices. It is an atrocity, and it is making people dumber. So if you use AI, please stop. But that being said, AI in and of itself is not bad, right? We've always had AI. We've always had algorithms. There's ethical ways to get things for low to no cost, and I'm also not opposed to creating things on my own, even if they don't look great, because that's the whole point. I don't give a fuck if this is gonna go viral or whatever. I just want to feel happy again. Shit. I just want to feel happy again. I want to feel like I am doing something for myself. I want to feel as if I matter, I guess, or what I enjoy matters. I'm well aware that there will be negative interactions from other individuals or whatever, but the cool thing about that is I don't know you. I'm never going to meet you if you are a nameless, faceless individual on the internet, and that is how you will remain. And most of the time, the internet's dead anyway, and most of the comments are just bots, and you can tell, and it's really disappointing, but that's okay, because the point of it is, yeah, hopefully I engage with one other human being and they thought that this was a worthwhile, however long it ends up being, amount of time spent listening to some random woman on the internet, a nameless, faceless entity, and listening to what they have to say for X amount of time while they're tending their garden or sharpening their knives or whatever the hell you may be doing. Maybe you're laying in bed and you are in your depressive episode wishing that you had motivation to do something. And you know what? Right there with you. But that's okay. It ebbs and flows, and things come and go, seasons change, all the platitudes and cliches you can think of. But that's what I'm gonna do here. For the most part, I'm not gonna write scripts or anything like that. I may have like bullet points or something if I get to that point, or I know previously in some of my other videos that are on here, I had written like essays and like research papers for the videos and referenced points of them, but I've never really been the one to like read from it. Now that I'm saying that, I feel like the Native Americans in horror video, I might have read from there. I'm probably gonna rewatch that so that I can see. And I'll put, oh my God, I get to be a YouTuber. And I'll put a little card link in the corner of this video if you want to check that out. Look at that self-promo. Oh my God. Anyway, if that's your vibe, hell yeah. If that's not, hell yeah. I support you either way. If you want to keep hanging out, listening to my really amazing rants or rambles or yaps or whatever I end up being passionate about at that time, please hit subscribe. Oh God. Anyway, you don't have to. Okay, that felt weird. I don't give a fuck. Subscribe, don't subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't really care. If you got this far, that means you at least were digging the vibes a little bit. And hopefully you are in the comments and say something nice to me, because that is what I would prefer. Okay, bye.